So, this is something that comes up on this channel from time to time. It comes up way more often than what you would think.
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like it's one of those ones like, well, we not just do a video on it, so then we don't have to like repeat ourselves and like constantly go back. So pretty much, honestly, see, whenever we were like 18 and I came across someone who was like, oh, I can't get any girls, no one's interested in me. It's like, man, that's a skill issue. Get good.
I know, but to be fair, there wasn't much of a thing whenever we were like growing up. There was, like, even the ugly ones got a shag.
Yeah. Do
you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, honestly, I don't think it wasn't half as bad.
It wasn't hard to get your hole. It
wasn't even a fraction as bad. Like, the problem I've got is...
It wasn't that hard to get your hole.
Like, the biggest issue that I have is... You can't even, like, go up to girls now and talk to them without it being, like, sexual assault.
Sexual assault or sexual harassment
like,
or, I don't know, fucking, what is it, being toxic masculine.
Oh, yeah, all that jazz. You know, it's like, no. So, look, I think this is something we'll dive into. We'll try and explain a bit more and really see if we can come to any form of conclusion. And the other thing is, how do you fix it?
I've no idea at this point because it's gone so far, and then they complain about being single and not finding the right guy. It's like, well, maybe the right guy's walked up to you at one point, but you've like claimed that he's a creep. Yeah,
or I think the only way that we're going to see this is, and like pretty much all, like, there's going to be a lot of wine aunts and a lot of cat moms.
Yeah.
In their 50s and 60s.
100%.
There's going to be a lot of them our age and a lot of Zoomers.
Yeah, there's a lot of people our age who, like, we're coming 30, and there's a lot of ones our age who have never been in, like, a long relationship or, like, even a substantial relationship at that to even consider, you know, maybe getting married or not even getting married, just having kids.
Yeah.
And the ones who are our age who have a lot of kids
are the people you don't want to be having a lot of kids.
Aren't with anybody, they're single, they're like single mums or single dads.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
Look, things are just getting worse and worse, and the problem is, how do we reset it? Like, don't get me wrong, like, you know, the 1950s wasn't like the perfect time ever. Like, you know,
I don't know. Take me back to a time where I don't have to work.
Yeah, maybe. So, look, let's jump into this. What is hypergamy? Because it's a bit of a new word. It's been floating about for a while.
So, hypergamy. In scientific literature, hypergamy refers to marrying up in socioeconomic status.
Yeah, so like you wouldn't have a. I've never heard of.
Like I wouldn't go out with somebody who doesn't drive.
On the dole. Yeah,
he doesn't drive. No, not even. Well, I wouldn't go out with somebody on the dole end off, but I wouldn't go out with somebody who doesn't drive.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Because you're not being my passenger princess. I'm sorry. No way. I'm being yours.
Yeah.
It can refer to either men or women, but it is more commonly observed in women. In the manosphere, the term hypergamy is used more broadly for marrying or dating up, and it sometimes refers to dating up relative to a woman's previous partner, or relative to other males available, not just herself or the social standing of her family. And it sometimes refers to female mate preferences for socioeconomic status, or for the activity of whoring for resources. And related instances of female sneakiness. Women are thought to incite one another's hypergamy.
What does that mean? They want to... I wouldn't go with him.
Or why are you going with him?
Yeah, I get that.
Or if, like, they're talking to a fella, it's like, oh no, don't talk to him, he doesn't...
Nah, you don't want that.
...do this. Or he was with somebody that I knew and he's you know.
Yeah, I could see that. So essentially, what I'm seeing...
I see this, the peak hypergamy for me at the minute is, so I joined this Facebook group out of pure nosiness, and it was, are we dating the same guy?
Oh yes, yeah,
Are we dating the same guy, Northern Ireland? And actually it's in the rules. Oh, I can't talk about this. But yeah, they like put pictures up of like guys in like the local, like just in like Northern Ireland in general, all around the show, and they put up like any tea or any red flags, and girls in comments slandering these guys.
Jesus
Christ. Or instead of putting up like the picture, like maybe the matched on Tinder or something, to put up, oh, any tea, does anybody know anything? Instead of putting that up, they would put up like a picture of their ex anonymously. They would put up anonymously a picture of their ex, like, don't go near this guy, he's this, he's that, he's this. God. Like bad breakup vibes, like just slandering them. And this like the actual group has like 7,000 people on it.
7,000?
And like for Northern Ireland.
That's big.
Big.
7,000. You need to put it in perspective.
I know a couple of faces on it.
That's a decent sized town.
Yeah.
That's a good sized town.
I know a couple of faces on it, like,
yeah,
that have come up, and they're not, the comments aren't nice. And, like, they're just completely slandering these guys.
I think, honestly, like don't get me wrong, I don't think dating scene is good for anyone. I think online dating is probably one of the worst things to have ever happened.
Oh yeah, 100%. But I think that's just a bit sneaky, like.
Yeah, it is. It is. Like,
sneaky and sneaky.
It's going to get worse. So let's just keep going. Let's see.
Women's hypergamy is mainly a result of their higher choosiness, higher uniformity of sexual desire, and men's higher sex drive and promiscuity. These differences are thought to have evolved from higher parental investment on part of female.
I mean, like, honestly, say if I was a girl.
What does that mean, parental investment? Like, if
they want someone who's worth, like, a good dad and all that.
Oh,
so,
right, okay.
like, someone who can provide for them.
Oh, right.
Like, I'm saying right now, see if I was a good looking girl, I wouldn't be working. The thing is, I think, honestly, like, let's be serious. Megan, do you know any women that are like, I actually love my job, I'm a career-driven woman,
Yeah.
or do they just, like, work because they have to work?
No,
Like, how
I
many?
know a few women.
What percentage would you say
Percentage of women that I know.
that are, like, very career-orientated, that want careers over...
Well, I don't talk to a lot of women.
Yeah, I know that's true.
Percentage, I would say maybe like 20%.
That's pretty fucking high.
I know
would
a lot
argue.
of other women, but saying that women have different views on life. Like they work so they can go away on vacation, or they work so they can, they're working to get a house, or they're working because they've got kids, and they need to pay that, or they need to pay childcare,
or for instance, for you went back to work a while back, but it was more just to get you just wanted to get the fuck out of the house.
Well, number one, it was that, plus my family own a business and I could see they were struggling.
Yeah,
so
you needed.
I went back to help them, and the money that I earn then it pays like our grocery.
Yeah, it does like the shopping for the week.
It does the shopping and the gas in the car.
Yeah.
And like it's just another bill then we don't have to pay out of our cards.
Yeah,
at the
exactly.
end of the day. Or like putting like my money for Christmas presents for Ozzy, because
that sort of thing
means it doesn't need to come out of our card.
Yeah.
It's just extra money.
Yeah, pretty much.
Plus, it means I can have adult conversation.
Yeah.
Because James isn't very adult.
How many people do you think would do the whole, like, the whole Instagram modeling, and then they would end up going to like Dubai and getting shot on by like Arab princes for a few thousand? Like, do you reckon they've been fucking Arab princes?
Yeah.
You would do you think they were like, they look like the type that would
100%.
put a fish up an old Arab
100%.
man's asshole?
100%. I watched a video the other day about the differences in cost from here to Dubai. Like, let's move to Dubai. Like, honestly. So
I like the tax. I like the tax.
Yeah, this fella done like a comparison. Like, a 1-bedroom apartment in Dubai is like £900. A 1-bedroom apartment London, in the back end of London, like in the ends, like back end, fucking shitty estate, is like 1,200.
Yeah, honestly, say if you work from home
and
you lived in like any like shitty UK city, I think you're mad to stay. I think you're honestly
petrol is like
they're cheating with petrol though. Let's be serious.
Saying that petrol's like, it's like something like 70 or 80p per litre. Like, that's cheaper than a bottle of water over here.
Fuck.
If you think about
it
like
is.
petrol over here at the minute, it's like what, £1.59 a litre?
Right. Look, let's keep going.
Let's go back to this before we go into actual economic stuff.
Yeah.
As a result of these differences, men have fewer alternative mating options available, so they more readily make compromises and date down. Women's preference for higher status men ties into the natural hierarchical social organisation found in humans.
What would you say? See, I don't think it was always the case though. What is it that's caused it?
Social media.
Do you think it's social media? And
and the fact that literally, apparently, it's a massive thing that nowadays that no girl dates a guy under 6'2".
Yeah, I see. I don't know how much of that is an actual meme. Or...
No, it's not a meme. Like,
because sometimes I think it's pure cope.
No, it's not a meme. Right, first of all, Zoomers, is it?
Yeah.
The wee girl who works in Chippy with us, pure Zoomer.
Well, she'd be more of an alpha, I would argue, like a very old alpha.
She's 16, so I don't know what that
young
is.
Zoomer. I think the oldest alphas are like 13.
I think she's more Zoomer, like the way she like gets on. She's like, I literally, and she's like, not me and my something era, and all she says, like, she's just one of them.
Yeah.
And she, 16, broke up with her wee boyfriend that she was with for like 6 months or something in May.
Yeah.
And she's talking to this other guy. Well, she's a pretty wee girl, so quite a lot of wee boys are talking to her. And she says says, yeah, this guy's talking to me, this guy's talking to me, this guy's talking to me. She says, but they're all under 6 and I don't want to talk to them. And I'm like, is that actually a thing? And she's like, what? And I was like, you don't date under a certain height? She was like, absolutely not. She's like, my last boyfriend was like 6'2". And I was like, what age is he? She's like, 15. I was like, who's 6'2" at 15?
I know. Like, realistically,
well,
Aussie mate.
well,
Aussie
yeah,
mate.
but like, who realistically? And I was like, is that a thing? She was like, yeah.
Jesus Christ, man.
And I was like, show me the wee boy. And she showed me them, and they're all pretty wee boys.
Yeah.
I says, oh, they're lovely. And she's like, yeah, but they're too short. I'm like, why? What height is he? Oh, he's only 6 foot. I'm like, what? I said, this is so weird.
I think there's going to be a lot of people very disappointed with their lives.
Mm-hmm.
Because, let's be serious, for women, there's only so much time.
I know.
There is only so much time.
I know.
And there's not enough.
Mm-hmm.
There's just,
there is going to be, like, you're going to see in, like, a couple of years' time, like, the amount of taller kids running about, because the ones who maybe do get together are going to be with, like, the taller men.
Complete manhood extermination.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
no!
It is going to be that.
Yeah.
And then, like, if they don't drive, if they don't make, like, a certain amount of figures.
Yeah.
As well, like, there's a full checklist that women have. Like, it's mad.
Yeah, I've got no interest in modern dating at all. No interest.
James wouldn't stand a fucking chance.
I don't even think I would try.
No.
I don't even think I would try at this point.
You wouldn't stand a fucking chance without me, guy.
I wouldn't be interested.
Not your height.
Honestly, I don't think it ever stopped me.
Nowadays.
See, I don't know. Because it never stopped me before, so, like, I don't see why, like...
I'm only joking. You're just getting angry.
I honestly don't think it would affect me that much.
Well, you're not going to have to fucking do it.
Yeah, that's true, thank God. Anyway, look, cause of hypergamy, choosy, independent women, apparently. So, look, let's see.
So, historically, women had to invest more into their offspring than men because pregnancy used to be physically risky.
It still
is. Still is physically risky. And by virtue of having a womb, women had more natural responsibility over children. As a result, women evolved to be choosy and coy, and they specialised in childcare and extracting resources from men. That's a nice way to put it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we literally are on the incel wiki.
Oh, yeah.
I only went for this one just because I thought it was the most...
I love hearing, like, definitions from incels. So
yeah.
So good.
Honestly, again, see when it comes to... Like,
see the word incel, though, it really pisses me. It just annoys me at this point.
It is.
It's like someone calling someone a cock.
Cock was really good, though, at the time.
Yeah, but incel and cock are, like, on the same levels. Like.
I would argue... I don't know. Let's just keep going.
This dependency can, to some extent, also be observed in our closest primate relatives, with the males sometimes sharing their food with their mates and their offspring. The amount of resources men provide is quite extreme compared to most animals and unique among primates. Yes, but they don't have a fucking currency.
Yeah.
They don't have a house that they have to have.
Well, not even that. It's our children take so long to develop that we have to invest way more than any other animal.
Yeah, like our pregnancy is like one of the longest as well.
It's what we got the longest pregnancy.
No, not the longest.
Well, one of the longest. I know elephants are like twice as long.
Whales and stuff.
Yeah, but like realistically, to get
one of the
kids,
longest, especially for the size of us.
Yeah,
like one of the longest pregnancies. The time it takes, typically it takes between 10 and 18 months for a child to walk.
Yeah, which is
Do you know what I mean?
That's a lot that you're gonna have to be. They're completely dependent on you, 100%.
And even then, whenever they start walking, they're like little alcoholics.
That and also like I'm not again like they're they're being a bit harsh with women, but like see, I can't think of any girl that I've been with that I'd be like honestly, any of my other girlfriends, I'm like, I think to myself, I am so fucking lucky I never had kids with any of them.
Yeah.
Because, like, Megan, what would it be? Like, I do your exes. Could you think of any, like, could you imagine that? So see if you have kids with the wrong person, you pretty much fucked your life up, man.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, yeah, you get the child's lovely, but you're gonna
you're connected to that person.
You're tied to that other person. Like, you are tied to them to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Like, and you do want to make that decision correctly.
Yeah.
Because, like, I can tell you, like, now I've been with some girls and, like, oh my god, how fucking bad would my life be if anything had happened?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet Jesus, I could not imagine anyone worse.
I know.
Like, I don't know, who's worse, mine or yours, Megan?
I think both are pretty mental, like, but yours fucking...
No, I had, like, No,
Your
my one was
like,
my one was like actually like schizo.
Yeah,
like
my
genuinely dickhead.
a dickhead. But like your one,
Well, your one's more of a retard, whereas my one's more like an actual like
Psycho.
schizo sort of.
yeah.
Genuinely mental.
Yeah,
like she wasn't
don't
right in the
stick your
head.
dick in crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, with men providing twice as much calories in hunter-gatherers than women, and exclusively providing the more nutrient-dense meat hunting.
I mean, like that's the way
Which,
we work, though. I don't see why you're
Men
gardening.
need more calories anyway.
No, but it's more that it's just like, look, women look after the children, men get food, and that's it. And that's just like
I don't know about that.
They're complaining about this.
You look after the kids and I do the shopping.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, I'm talking from caveman perspective because that's what they're at here.
I go out and do the
But,
shopping.
like, I don't know.
instead.
This just sounds like this. Honestly, this sounds like bitch boy gardening to me.
Yeah, it is. Which men use to get mating opportunities and invest in offspring and their mate ever since.
And get good.
The importance of resources to women is apparent even in
Egalitarian, which would be kind of like a very like communal.
Oh, right, okay.
Like think.
Egalitarian societies such as the Ake and the
like Native American,
where the best hunters are able to attract the most sexual partner. And also in modern societies, women disdain qualities in men that signal inability to accrue resources, such as lack of ambition. Yeah, but that is to have no ambition is such a turn off.
To be a little neat, you're never going like.
No,
if you're going to be,
if all you want to do is sit and scratch your balls and play Fortnite all day.
Yeah, you're not going to get.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
As men are held more responsible economically, more men than women are expected to completely fail in life due to Matthew.
Well, that is to do with more.
The Matthew effect or Matthew principle refers to the effect that ascending any kind of hierarchy, whether economic, artistic, etc., tends to imply even more status as one gains motivation and access to more resources, social connections, etc., forming a positive feedback essential.
So get good evolution essentially, and again, like you need to remember that.
Hold on, as more women avoid such loser males due to their thirst for resources and status in men, women tend to date up. Well, I'm sorry, I don't want to date like an absolute.
I think there's a difference between a man that works a normal job.
At the end of the day, you're going to have some sort of money, coming in to be able to fucking live.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be able to like.
So it's either going to be both of you go out and earn, or one of you.
Yeah.
If you have a family, it is like more likely it is going to be the man going out to earn, because
you know what I love about this.
Or you send your kid to childcare and they can get assaulted.
Yeah.
Or hit.
You know what I'm loving about this so far is like they say they try to claim it's like, oh, women, this is modernity, they're all whores, all this, all that, but then they're literally talking about like cave people and like women don't work and all this type of stuff. It's like, well, yeah,
they don't.
Yeah, like this is going way back.
It's the old saying: it takes a village to raise a child. And whenever back in them days, whenever somebody had a child, the women of the village
they look after them.
It wasn't that person's child; it was the village's child.
Yeah,
and all the women congregated together to raise these children as the men went out. And done whatever.
Leading the
crusades, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, this is something that I also think about. Like, unironically, I've thought about this a lot. Like, see, in my old job, I used to think about this every morning going into work. So in my old job, whenever I was driving over some of the hills...
the thoughts you get whenever you drive in the morning? Do you ever, you just swerve into the other lane?
No, my one's way better than that. So if it was a sunny day, you can see Scotland. So you can. And, like, unironically, see if, like, I lived maybe 2,000 years ago. What's stopping you and a few of the boys getting together and getting a wee boat and going across and leading some farms?
I know.
What the fuck are they going to do?
I know.
Unironically, all I'm saying is, you know what women need to be looking out for? Warlord traits, right? That's what you need. You need to get good and get some warlord traits about you. Because, see if you're not thinking about plundering the villages next door, I'm sorry, man, you're not gonna make it. You're just not gonna make it, man. You need that drive to be like, you know what? I am gonna cave that farmer's skull in with an axe. I will take his crop. I will. You know what I mean?
On Roland and fucking alone.
Yeah, exactly. Let's just keep going.
Principle of least interest. In unregulated dating markets, and even though physically weaker, women turn out to be the chief sexual selectors and gatekeepers.
Right, you know what this is turning into? This is turning into, are the incels the communists? of the sex world.
Yeah, they are.
Unironically, because
No, it's not unironically. They are.
They literally are. They're the communists.
State mandated girlfriend.
Yeah.
Pussy win.
Yeah. You know what? Only here, if we're going to go for the communist thing, only the weak go for let's be serious. Who do you know that's not an unironic communist that isn't kind of a bitch boy?
Oh.
But the problem is, but again,
you know who's a communist, and you can just tell it.
Hey, well, we can't say that, of course. But let's just keep going.
And gatekeepers of sex due to the principle of least interest. When an activity depends on mutual agreement, the person with the least interest decides the terms of that activity. This is because the person with the most interest has fewer options. Thus, they more likely compromise than the other party to reach an agreement. Women desire initiating sex with a partner of average attractiveness much less than men. Thus, most men have few mating options and hence more likely make compromises in order to get any sex at all.
See, now...
Making compromises means dating down, which in turn means women dating up.
Right, so you know what I think the problem is? You're pointing the hatred at the wrong way around, because, so with the whole hypergamy thing, but you're getting, so let's say it's top 5% fellas. Mm-hmm. The top 1% have only 50% of the... Why does it work so well as an analogy? But look, let's be serious. There's, what was the guy on our Discord? The guy made of slayed a few dragons in a day.
Yeah.
It's that type of mentality. You know what I mean? It's like, well, they're fucking munters at the same time.
I know a good few really good looking girls.
Yeah.
Who went with peak male attractiveness.
Yeah, you stereotypical.
And now they're married to average looking men.
Yeah, that's way more common than I think.
You know why? Because the average looking men
make better
husbands
than
those type of guys.
Yeah.
And they also, I think, they bring more to the table relationship wise, as in conversation wise.
Well, you're more of a well-rounded person.
Yeah, because the peak male attractiveness types are the peak male attractiveness types for a reason. Do you know what I mean?
One of the biggest ones that fucking annoys me to no end is, okay, we can all agree that they're very...
And vice versa.
We can all agree that they're very nice looking. What the fuck you got in common with this person?
I know, exactly.
You've got nothing this.
You can celebrities, even your biggest celebrity crush, they're hot. You'd love to have sex with them, but realistically, what conversation are you going to have with them?
What can you even do? You know what
exactly.
I mean? How do you even get on with them? You may as well be living in different worlds. And that's something that's always kind of annoyed me about it, where people complain, saying, "Oh, I can't do this, I can't get that." It's like, well, do you even want that? I feel
if you watch obviously you don't.
Megan loves a bit of reality TV.
If you watch Love Island,
yeah,
all good looking people all there together, but they're all born as sin. Their conversation is so bleak. I get done for hate crimes if I went on it.
Yeah, you would.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you would get done for hate crimes
by one joke or something. They're all so bland and bleak, and their conversation is all the same.
Yeah, it's not I feel is this the Diablo Immortals thing? It's you think you want it, but you don't. You know what I mean? That's kind of what it feels like.
Yeah.
Let's just keep going. The pussy cartel. What on earth is this? Economic theory? I fucking told you.
In terms of sexual economics theory, women sexually commodify themselves with a certain exchange value whenever they sexually reject or accept men based on their resource.
How many Bugattis do you have? What colour's your Bugatti?
Sex then becomes a resource itself that men can purchase by amassing a broad array of valued goods, including non-monetary resources such as fame and competence. Women compete in selling high by strategically withholding sex, thereby increasing men's sexual frustration, thus inflating the price of sex and baiting men into engaging in more committed resources provision, even when there is an abundance of resources society.
No,
Women are also believed to slut shame one another to maintain the value of sex.
I think that is true. I think that's
As
very true.
sex given away for free lowers the value of sex, which reduces women's leverage over it. In this manner, women collude, forming pussy cartels and inciting one another's hypergamy by having men work for them. Women become a leisure class. I don't understand this. So
what they're trying to say is
it's they won't have sex sex with a man unless they like take them on like a fancy.
My argument is like, I think most people, or almost anyone who's like in full-time employment, can somewhat look after themselves. Like, if you're washing your balls, man, the bare minimum, you're washing your balls, you're at least trying to look after yourself. Like, something, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not asking everyone to be like, you know, really as marketable as they can. I do think
people like do give it up quite easily.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people that give it up very easily.
Yeah, my rule was always 3 months.
Yeah.
If I was talking to someone, always 3 months, because I didn't want to just like meet them, have sex, and then didn't talk to each other after like a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
It was always like 3 months, because like once you hit like a 3 months and you're talking to somebody for like 3 months, you have like a really good rapport, or like you know something might be going somewhere after that.
But again, Megan, I don't know, I just think Northern Ireland's very different compared to like America or even England.
No, I think over here girls give it up way too fucking easily in Northern Ireland.
Do you think so?
Way too easily.
I would have thought it would be. I don't know. Like, from what I've heard, England's a bit wild.
Yeah, well, I know over here it's fucking wild as well.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I remember trying to talk to my friends, like, and I'm like, no, I said no, like 3 months. That's me. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, no, like 2 weeks. What?
Even then, 2 weeks is still like an extreme length of time, though, compared to like most places in the Western world.
But the thing is, if they're not prepared to wait 3 months, then
well, if you can't even get on with someone,
all they wanted was the sex. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly, and it's just kind of fucking
defeats
pointless.
The point in talking to them.
Yeah, exactly.
And then if they get frustrated after like a month, it's like, right, well, fuck you, see you later.
Yeah,
bye.
I'm not really I'm not really feeling you. Yeah, I don't know. I still feel like a lot of this just feels like very bitter. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
It is very bitter.
Well, it is from the Incel Wiki. Well, so I thought it would be the most entertaining of all them. That like.
Hey, yo, guys, cost of living crisis and all that. You don't want to pay for models? Well, we got some paper models.
Which are like a fraction of the price.
Like, fraction of the price. And who actually wants to carry about a bunch of goblins? Nobody.
I mean, like, come on. Like, everyone's going to need a bunch of goblins. But how do you carry that? How do you transport that? And if any of you guys have transported models any length of time?
You put it in a Pokemon binder and you take it with you. If you're interested in it, check this video out. It'll explain everything to you. And if you really want to, the link to the Kickstarter's down below and it'll explain it. And if you like it, back it.
Also, we do have some free ones, so you can go ahead, print them out yourself if you like them, you know.
Everybody likes free shit, so just go and try it.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks. Polygamy.
Polygamy, what's this?
Humans and most pan are monetary
so it means like multiple partners.
Species, meaning that some males monopolize multiple females.
So harems.
Fuck's sake.
Harems and fuckboys.
In fact, the vast majority, 84.6% of historical societies had at least some marriages.
Yeah, but that's like kings and stuff.
Yeah,
and like
that doesn't
that's
make sense.
More like
they all had like
mistresses
or affairs, or
and even
they
then,
all had that going on, but like they couldn't say shit because you get beheaded or something.
Well, it made sense back then because again they never married for love a lot of the time.
They always married for whatever status or money or like family barters or land or whatever.
So yeah, look, we'll get married, we'll have the kids, but like we're not really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
like a princess or somebody of this country and somebody of this country will get married and then they'll have these or whatever.
Yeah, it's like just marry the German princess.
Yeah.
Have a few kids. But like, if you want to go fuck a few eggs, it don't matter. Like,
that's fine, as long as you have kids with mine.
Yeah, as long as you have kids, then that's all that matters.
Yeah. Assuming there was no significant shortage of men, poly meant
Megan,
poly meant high status men drew from the mate pool of men of equal or lower status men than themselves. Thus, lower status men went empty-handed or were urged to date less desirable women still available. So their female equals could date up on average, i.e. could marry hypergamiously.
Yeah.
Hyperglamorous. As poly was a high prevalent mode of mating in human history, one would expect mate preferences to evolve in human females that make use of opportunities to marry a poly sub. That is, along with already mentioned selections, pressures from women's needs to get resource dependent, and to be protected as the physical and emotional weaker sex. Bodyguard hypothesis.
I mean, well, yeah, like, let's be serious.
I don't need to be protected by no man.
Yeah, well, you're an exception, though.
I don't need to be protected. The men need protecting from me.
Yeah, and again, I would say you're very much. Like, Megan, let's be serious. I would say you would be under the top 1% of women when it comes to like strength.
I know.
Easily.
But I don't think it's fair to say, well, nowadays women are a lot stronger, maybe not physically, but stronger like emotionally, I would say, to be able to go like, no, fuck away, go away.
I think it's more social thing. I don't know. It's hard to say. I think that's more of a social thing. That's few and far between when it comes to like men having like, you're looking at like Chinese, you're looking at the Middle East. Very few like Western societies have ever really had that sort of thing. Yeah. So okay, let's just skip a wee bit.
We're skipping a couple because apparently women want poor men to die in a fire. I hate, like, what? Women's behaviour in online dating is particularly useful for revealing their preference for dating up and against dating down. One study showed female users like male users' profile with a higher education status than their own, twice as often when compared to a profile with equal education status. And they like user profiles with lower statuses only half as often. The IFS found women are twice as likely to marry up in income when they marry down in education.
So I think what they're trying to say is they only go if they make more money.
Oh, right, well.
So only if they're making more money.
So if they have a lower education, but they have to have a high income?
They have to have the income to back that up.
In the Swedish top 1% income bracket, 70% of men, but only 30% of women are partnered with someone in the bottom 90% bracket. Job promotion increases the likelihood of a relationship breakup more in women than in men. According to a study by whoever, women are 1,000 times pickier about a potential partner's wealth than men.
I mean, yeah, but that makes sense. Men tend to work more. Yeah. You know.
And also, I can keep going back with kids. Yeah. Whenever you're dating someone, especially if you're dating seriously to go for marriage and kids. And whenever you're thinking about kids or you're in that age for kids, you want that stability.
Yeah, you do.
Because the kids are money.
Yeah.
Unprofessional.
I can turn it off. Turn it off. Honestly, I don't really see an issue. I think this is more of a problem with just the modern age, where we've just imported as much of the third world as we can to try and keep wages down, so now women have to work. I think if we were still at a point where women have the option to work, but they don't have to work, I don't think we would be seeing
half as many women work.
The problem that we're seeing with this. Yeah. I think that's really what women...
But it's the way society's going at the minute. Like, you cannot have a two-person household with kids and both of them not work to be able to financially keep up payments on house or food and kids clothing, kids, even childcare. But then again, if you're both working, the kids have to go into childcare.
Yeah, exactly.
And then childcare
is so much money.
A fucking bomb.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't.
It's mental.
I honestly, I feel like, why shouldn't women want men that can look after them? Yeah. That's my response to all this. Why?
Honestly, you'll have more money.
Why shouldn't women want that?
Yeah. Like, you would have more money as a household if only one person worked.
Yeah. Like, okay, because I'll give you a good example. I'll give you guys a really, really good example. So, my friend, he started a wee side business. He's doing amazingly well. Really, really well. And so he's talked about it to, like, our group of friends, and
none of them are interested.
None of them are interested.
Doing anything like it.
And me and him are doing stuff together. We've got a few things going, and they're all doing pretty good. Yeah. Like, they're all doing really well. And I just don't understand why me other mates just aren't interested.
Aren't at least, like, interested in learning.
Yeah, like, it's just something.
I know, it's
there. It boggles my mind, because I mean, like, my friend, he's pulling in, you would not believe, like, but I'm talking like yearly salary in a month. Like, you know, like, it's big money.
And this is only been from like March.
Yeah, so like, and to me, the idea of, if you knew someone how to do it, would you not be like, yo, you need to show me how the fuck to do this?
Exactly.
You need to I'm telling you right now, I'll suck your fucking dick. Did you show me how? Like, it's like Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah. I remember whenever the guy comes in, it's like, well, what do you do as a job? It's like, oh, I do this. It's like, I'll quit my job like fucking now if you show me how to.
And I quit.
Like, unironically.
I know.
I don't know. Like, that's just the way I'm viewing this. I think it's more of a problem for just the modern age.
But a lot of the time as well, I think quite a lot of men just don't want to work.
Yeah, stay-at-home gamer husbands.
Yeah, basically.
Is quite often. Let's keep going.
The author of the study speculated that women's preference to affluent men poses a barrier in encouraging males to adopt a low consumption lifestyle, and thus a barrier is involving ecological crisis. Women also rate men with cues of wealth, e.g. presentation of luxury goods, as more sexually
that is some
attractive.
bullshit. Like, see, I don't know. See, people that are really obsessed with like designer stuff.
The only thing I like designer is shoes. That's it.
Yeah, I suppose that would be about it.
I like my shoes. I like shoes.
Yeah.
And even then, I don't have a lot of them.
But whenever you're saying designer, you're not talking like the ones that cost like hundreds.
Oh, no.
You're talking
like
Megan, you want a pair of Converse for Christmas.
I want name brand shoes.
Right,
I don't want to walk about and I want Converse and I like Dunks and I like Air Forces.
Yeah.
But like, that's it.
Yeah, it's not like, you're not talking
maybe
like...
at most designer pair Steve Maddens, but they're like the same price as like Converse.
So you're talking like top high end, like 150?
150.
Not like the 500, 600, 1,000. You know what I mean?
First of all, Gucci's tacky as fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Also, it's more sexually attractive. Well, men don't care about this when rating women.
Yeah, look, I think people can dress nicely and be presentable, and you don't have to spend big money.
Yeah, exactly.
You just don't.
Exactly.
Like, you just don't need to spend money.
Exactly. You don't.
Like, you know, you can.
It's all in the way you style things, or all in the way you dress.
You can definitely make yourself very presentable,
and you don't have to walk about in like, I don't know, a $1,500 t-shirt.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like, you know.
People pay more attention to photos of men with high status attire, but not to women with high status attire. Men's social status also accounts for 62% of variance of frequency of copulation opportunities, although it is less related to men's reproductive success. Men's income was found to be positively correlated with their partner's orgasms and negatively with sexlessness.
I mean, let's be serious. Would you want to be with a girl who was absolutely useless? You know what I mean? Like, would you... Who says...
Well, if they're useless in their life, who's to say they're not useless in bed?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If they don't put effort in their life, are they going to put effort in bed?
No, I suppose that's that's a good point, actually. I never thought about it like that.
Women's promotion increased the risk of divorce.
I mean, you're putting in more hours. If you want promotions, you got to be working harder. You got to be spending more energy.
Yeah.
You know,
home,
there's a lot. There's a lot going on there.
An aversion to having the wife earn more than the husband explains 29% of the decline in marriage rates over the last 30 years. Women dating up in education and socioeconomic status is a robust pattern across many online dating studies. One study found that while relationship quality was negatively associated with the women earning more, they did not find power differentials in terms of income or education to affect the likelihood of women's divorce initiation. However, reported relationship quality generally is not predictive.
Honestly, divorce rates are absolutely insane. I think there's just too many people getting married for a lot of the wrong reasons. And also the other big problem I've got with it is, I think if you're going to marry someone, you need to already have that in mind of, no, I'm with them. Like, you know, it's supposed to be a life thing.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, divorce has to happen in some cases, but I think...
But not all the time.
But I think you should have...
A lot of people give up far too early, far too easily. Like, you know what? There is, like, marriages have problems. Things come up, and more likely over the time, more cases than not, it's about money, or it's about, like, stupid shit.
Stress. The stresses of life
in general.
Yeah.
But people give... social media, again, I think there's too much at people's fingertips to show them what they could have, as in, like, other partners, what they could have, what would this be like, what would this girl's hot, or this guy's hot, or this isn't it, you know, people are too quick to think what ifs.
It's pretty well documented that women suffer far more from Instagram. Like, Instagram's supposed to be like the worst.
Do not use Instagram.
Instagram's supposed to be like the worst social media specifically for women.
Yeah.
It does affect men, but it's not half as much.
I would say it is.
But like, I think people like, you know, like, they get a small snippet into other people's lives and they're like, oh, that's amazing. I wish that was me.
But people only post...
Yeah, they only going to post good shit.
Good shit on it.
So, like, you know...
Like, that's the thing.
I don't get how people are filled by this shit.
But as you said, like, before you marry somebody...
You best fucking...
You should already be in the mindset of, oh, I'm already married to this person anyway.
That's what another thing that kind of annoys me. Like, say if you're with someone for years and years and years. And then, like, do you want to get married? Like, like, see, for me, I was kind of like, I don't know. Well, yeah, I suppose, yeah, sure, we'll go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was a bit preemptive about it at the start.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, it was like, well, what does it actually change?
I know, changes nothing.
It literally, there's nothing different in our day-to-day lives.
I knew I always wanted to be a mother.
Yeah.
And I knew in that case of me and James having kids, I wanted that, like, security of marriage, to where, touch wood, God forbid, if anything does happen, I have that security for our kids.
Oh, yeah, of course.
More than anything.
Yeah.
It's not for me, it's for the kids.
Yeah.
But nothing will happen. Because I'm not putting that energy out in the universe.
But you're right, though.
But do you know what I mean?
People give up far too
easily. Or people get married far too young.
Yeah, they do. They really fucking do.
And also, a lot of fucking people that I know get married for the wedding.
Yeah, yes.
They get married
what is it
for
with
the
women
wedding.
What is it with women and weddings, though?
I have no idea. And any woman who I've said to, who've asked me, when do you get married? And I said, I got married.
Yeah, we got, like, me and Megan pretty much eloped. Just so I don't know if you guys know this. Like, we have talked about it before.
Yeah, we got called on the Monday, do you want to get married on the Wednesday? And I was like, yeah, sure. And we had a fucking backyard fucking wedding with like 10 people because in the middle of COVID.
Yeah.
And in the end, that's exactly what we wanted. Like, we had a wedding planned and I hated planning it.
Yeah.
Nothing was really planned. We were like 2 months away from getting married because I didn't really want to do it. Not that I didn't want to do it, like get married. So I didn't want the wedding.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do the wedding. But it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I was like, fuck. I didn't want. I've said this from the beginning, from whenever you proposed to me. Like, I don't want the wedding. I want the marriage.
Yeah, yeah.
And anytime I say this to somebody who asks me about it now, and I tell them what we've done for our wedding, it's like, but I never wanted the wedding. I wanted the marriage.
Yeah.
I wanted to be his wife.
Yeah.
And I wanted him to be my husband. People are like, I could imagine doing that. I want the day, I want the wedding, and I want people looking at me, and I want... Like, why?
No.
Why are you paying so much money for other people?
Yeah.
Whenever you can take that money and go away?
Yeah. Like,
and
honestly,
make memories?
Don't get me wrong, look, like, if it wasn't for COVID, we would have spent a lot more money. But even then, like, we weren't...
But even then, our wedding was still very, very small.
Yeah.
There was only, like, 20 people at the ceremony and, like, 40 people...
For, like, the
actual reception.
Yeah.
Like, it was still very, very small.
Like, we weren't going to go mad.
No.
My stag do, we had a drink in my house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I went to Poland.
Yeah, well, you got lucky, so you did.
I've got better friends.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. Look, either way, let's just keep going. How much of how fucked up is the rest of this?
Evidently, men with relatively lower socioeconomic compared to women's status is regarded as red flag, even though there's no risk of starvation in modern Western welfare states. I don't know.
Look, man, all I'm saying is I would not go out with someone on the door.
Let me finish this. In the wild, men with lower status than women would likely be complete failures, but today, this can be explained by women having been artificially elevated into a higher social status and/or that men have been left behind, which can be regarded as evolutionary mismatch.
I mean, look, see if you're like innate, you know what I mean? It's like if I was a woman, I would have no interest in someone who's like innate. Straight up.
Yeah.
My pretty much conditions, like socially, for me personally, socio-economic for me would be you need a...
Any job. Like, just have a job.
You just need to have a job. You don't need to be working full time.
No.
But, like, as long as you're making enough money to sustain your lifestyle, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
If you don't have an extravagant lifestyle, if you're not into that sort of thing, it's not something that bothers me.
Yeah.
But as long as you can bring in your own money, and the other thing is, ideally, drive. Ideally. But again, it's not something that would make or break. The only time that would make or break for me is if they're fucking constant. Like, you send me across the road to the shop, but at least it's walking distance. That's pretty much our thing, right? So if anytime we're in the house, Megan, I'm not even joking, I get sent to the shop about 3 times a day.
Yeah, you do?
Yeah. But we live like under, like, it's not even 3 minutes from the front door.
It's not even 3 minutes, it's like a minute.
Yeah.
From the front door to the shop.
And that's why I get sent 3 times a day to the shop.
Yes.
To be fair, you actually did go to the shop with Ozzy today.
Yes, I did. And I go to the shop with Ozzy, not all the time, but at least twice a month.
And how many times do I go to the shop with Ozzy?
All the time.
Like once a day?
Yeah.
So let's say you probably go 1% of the time then.
Yeah.
So you still go though.
I still go.
All right. Okay. Let's just keep going. Women's.
But I don't send you over for stupid shit.
Well, okay, fair enough. It is stuff that we need.
Exactly.
It is stuff. So women orgasm based on male wealth. Could that also be they're just more attracted to them? This graph here. So the poorest, never orgasm, always orgasm.
Or they're just not stressed because they don't have to work.
No, this is... Oh, well, yeah, actually, that could be a thing. Yeah.
Or they're not tired because tiredness can really affect orgasms.
It's like, I'm just not in the mood.
Yeah.
It's not happening tonight.
Where if you're not working, then you're not going to be, like, tired all the time.
Or, again, could these women just be lying about it?
Could just be lying about it because the man's got money.
Yeah.
Because man's got money.
Because man got money.
And I've watched enough Pornhub. You know.
Someone's fucking lying here.
I know.
Right. Intensifying hypergamy. Rise in male sexlessness. Right. So this is something big. Like,
this is big.
See, a lot of this sort of stuff, the bulk of this sort of stuff, see, the problem is, like, as I said this before, it sounds like a skill issue, guys. But it's got for the last 5 to maybe 10 years.
I do not envy anybody out there who's in the dating pool right now.
It's not a skill issue at all anymore.
No,
I don't believe it is.
It's take like any sort of luck and run with it.
It's
like winning prize guy at this point because I don't like it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, you know the problem is, see, for our age group, all the decent ones are already taken. Mm-hmm. That realistically.
Oh yeah, our age group between like the ages of 25 and 35, all the good ones are already snapped up.
Yeah.
And all the other ones are fucking mentals.
Yeah.
Or they just are still stuck in their partying ways.
Yeah.
And they don't want to settle down.
You don't. Yeah, like, let's be serious.
And you see, there's nothing sadder than a fella or a girl who's like hit 30 and they still go clubbing. Like that, to me.
Like every weekend.
Like you can do it. Like, and they're still taking coke. And it's like,
every now and again. You know.
No, but if they go clubbing like every weekend without fail, it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you need to sort yourself out.
You're 30. Calm down. Big Brother's on.
Right, look, let's just jump into this.
Substantial evidence of increased hypergamy is the rise of inceldom, which affects both sexes, but men more than women. The share of men under 30 who aren't having sex is possibly tripled in the past decade, according to the Washington Post, using data from the General Social Survey. Who the fuck's taking these surveys, by the way? Have you had sex? No. More evidence is that the top 5 to 20% of men are having more sex than ever before.
I would probably say yeah.
Probably,
that's probably right.
It's easier with dating. It's easier with the dating apps.
Yeah, let's be serious.
To get a hookup, it's just easier for the better looking guys. It's how it is. The data from the 2002 and 2011 to 2013 National Survey of Family Growth, a US household survey focusing on sexual and reproductive health, can demonstrate this. The researchers found that compared to 2002, men overall had the same number of partners in 2013. However, the top 20% of men had a 25% increase in sexual partners. The top 5% of men had an outstanding 38% increase in the number of sexual partners. Thus, while the amount of male sex that was had in the number of sex we had was unchanged, more of the sex was consolidated into extra sex for the top 5 to 20% of men, i.e. chads. Thus, chads are truly having more sex than ever before. Below are direct quotes from the study. Although we found no change in median numbers of sex partners for men, we found significant increases in the numbers of sexual partners reported by the top 5 to 20%. We found an overall statistically significant increase in the reported lifetime opposite sex partners overall for men in the top 20% from 12 in 2002 to 15 in 2011 to 13.
Right, you know what? I'm just going to put it out here and say, I think that you can. I think 100% the reason for all this stuff is social media, online dating, people seeing other people's lives and being like, oh, why can't I have that? And, you know, it's so much easier.
There's ones here, online dating and social media, and marriages are falling apart. These are the big ones as well, I think. So online dating and social media, sexually frustrated men and the abundance of them in online dating and social media likely also intensify hypergamy. Frustrated men aim down more, which inflates women's self-esteem and gives them hope of securing a mate with exceptionally high mate value. So they become even more choosy and date up more or show decision fatigue, which creates even more sexually starved men, forming a negative feedback loop. Growing economic inequality and decreasing economic growth likely have the same effect as fewer men can attain reliable high status, which is what women go for.
Well,
get that.
What's the whole statistics? Apparently, like, men need to message like 100 women to get like 2
Remember
replies.
me and you done it one time?
Oh yeah, that's whenever it first came out.
Whenever, Tinder started, what was that, 2013, 14, something like that?
Yeah.
We weren't long together.
No.
And I said, let's make profiles. I said, just to say. So you made a profile. And I made a profile. Yeah. I think you had one message.
Yeah.
And within the space of me, like the first 15 to 20 minutes, there was something like 40 messages or something. I'm like, what the fuck? And it, like, if that's what it was like back then, what the fuck is it like now?
Oh, sweet Jesus. Oh my God. I could only imagine. Imagine. Like, it just... Look, it's not an even playing field anymore.
No, it's not.
And again, I feel like I just feel for people that are stuck in this. And honestly, it is at the point where you can't even go up and talk to them.
Yeah.
Without being like... And the other thing is, so if you don't talk to girls, you're not going to be very good at it.
Yeah.
So you have to practice.
Yeah.
You're just going to have to practice.
Yeah.
But therefore, you can't go up to girls.
Mate, you're not good at talking to girls.
I haven't done it in a very long time.
But even back then,
well, here, I pulled you, so like, you know.
with memes.
Megan.
What?
Megan. Sophisticated memes, I'll have you know.
They weren't.
No, they worked for... You thought they were fucking banging.
I thought they were funny.
Yeah.
But they weren't sophisticated.
Well, I'm not saying sophisticated, but like sophisticated meme warfare, okay?
It's okay. But you couldn't talk to girls.
No, I wasn't very good at talking to girls.
No. James would walk up to... James flirting with you, right? He'd walk up to you and go, you like it? you like it?
I want to see what my cock looks like.
Literally, like, that's James. You having a drink, guy?
I mean, like, look, worked, like,
and
you
then
know.
he'd just drop the cacks and just dick out.
Yeah, do you want to see what my cock Look, guys.
Like power move.
Look, sometimes you just, like, if you do the power move and it works out.
What show's that where they just stand naked in the room? Was that Friends?
I couldn't tell you.
Where the way to guarantee sex, once the girl leaves the room, just strip down all naked and stand there and they'll come back. Was it Friends?
Yeah, I think it might have been.
I can't
remember now. I think it might have been.
No, it was. I think it was Chandler.
Yeah. Look, let's just keep going. There's still a wee bit to go here.
Marriages are falling apart. There are other indications of intensified hypergamy besides the rise of singlehood and sexlessness, namely less stable relationships. With the decline of marriage norms, greater acceptance of polygamy, and divorce laws that greatly benefit women.
Oh yeah, honestly, see some of that stuff.
Yeah.
That's one thing I'll give the MGTOW guys.
Yeah.
Most 90% of the time, I think the MGTOW guys are fucking cringe.
Oh.
But when it comes to like that sort of stuff, it's like, well, yeah, you guys are actually pretty much right when it comes to that sort of stuff.
They greatly benefit women. Women are more readily jump ship when a better man is available. This can be seen in women initiating divorces more often than men, and a closing gender gap in infidelity, despite the fact that men oppose their partner's infidelity much more strongly. Women appear to have a fundamental anxiety about not having made the ideal partner choice in terms of wealth and power, and no-fault divorce laws and other institutions.
Look, guys, it's getting kind of late.
And norms that facilitate men switching, satisfying his female desire.
Well, that turned into word sip
that
there,
was
Megan.
Look, the slacks is kicking in. It is 10 to 12 at night.
Look, all I'm saying is, you know what? See, when it comes to all this sort of stuff, how do we fix it? I'm sick. I'm tired of hearing boys piss and moan. So how do we go about fixing this? Number one, I'm going to say start getting into more hobbies, like more IRL meeting stuff. See if you're lonely. And
don't just make it like going out to bars and having a drink. You don't want to meet a girl at a bar. That's not the type of girl that you're going to have like a relationship with. So that's the type of girl you're just going to have sex with. Yeah, pretty much. Like, okay. But if that's what you want. Yeah, that's what you... Like, if you want to go out and fuck slags, you can fuck slags. I'm not saying not to fuck slags. I know. Everybody has their if you want to fuck slags, you can fuck slags. Right, what I'm saying is, see if you're a guy and see if you're fucking lonely. Get the fuck off Discord. Yeah. Like,
Like, just get the fuck off Discord. See, this is one of the biggest problems. Like, I've got a lot of online friends, and I really love my online friends. I love talking to them, but they're not my IRL friends.
No.
Does that make sense? And I think when guys are lonely and they don't really have that many like IRL friends, it's easier to get by
and sink into the online
and
life.
sink into online life because you're not
bring back Second Life. That's what I say.
Maybe Second Life's still a thing, isn't it?
I don't know.
Like, all I'm saying is this is what I love about role playing games. This is what I love about tabletop RPGs. Like, it's not like there's women in it, but like, but like it's something IRL. It's something like in person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think this is really important, is to get the fuck out of the house and interact with other human beings.
People.
It's not gonna be easy for you.
No.
Don't get me wrong, I have a fucking horrible time talking to people IRL. A horrible fucking time. But like, the more you do it, the easier and easier it gets. Like,
and also the best place to find a woman is at a wedding. Just saying.
Oh yeah, I would agree with that.
If you're invited to a wedding, go.
Yeah. Honestly, just like
women get like love eyes at a wedding.
Yeah.
Work at a hotel.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Honestly, I worked in a hotel for a very long time.
Do you know what I mean?
And see the amount of waiters that were fucking the guests.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal. All the time.
Yeah.
Unreal. It just happens. Like, you know, it's like, see if you're young and like, you know, you live near to like a nice high-end hotel, get a job in there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be shit, but you might get some...
As a waiter, don't work in the kitchen.
Yeah, don't work in the kitchen. I wouldn't recommend that. Fucking brutal, man. So what else would you recommend to people? Start doing more shit IRL. Get the
a
fuck
driving
up.
license.
Get a driving license. See if you don't have a driving license, get that.
Yeah.
Again, like, you know, I don't really buy into the whole, like, oh, you need to have this car for that sort of thing.
And honestly...
I don't buy into that, but I think...
No, just get a car.
Get a car that's, like, semi-nice looking. It doesn't need to be a good car, but if it's, like... As long as it's, like, semi-nice looking...
up and falling apart.
If it's not... as long as it's not rusting and you keep it clean, you're gonna be alright.
Doesn't stink of feet.
Yeah. Make sure, like... And that's yourself as well. While we're at this, fucking wash your balls, man. Just sort that shit out. See if you... like, you know what? Megan's been getting me this aftershave. You can get it from Lidl.
Lidl? They don't have that in America.
Well, like, so essentially, we've got this... Megan's found this new aftershave for us. How much is it, Megan?
It's like £3.
£3 a bottle.
And
£3
so
fucking
nice.
pounds. And it's banging. It's
you
dead
see,
on.
like, buying, like, the aftershave...
So there's no reason not to...
Or cologne, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Like, it's so expensive.
It is.
Where, like, you buy it for, like, £3, £4, £5. £5 max, I think it is.
You can get really cheap stuff.
It's like complete dupes of like the ones that are like really expensive, and they're so nice.
So sort that out. Next up, as we said,
James can't get over it. Every time I go out shopping, like there's any aftershave, and he's I've never had so many fucking aftershaves.
No, neither have I. So like, you can do that pretty cheap. After that, what else do you need to do? Like, again, it's not about designer stuff, but as long as it looks nice, as long as you've got a bit of style, you'll be fine.
Brush your teeth.
Brush your teeth. Yeah, brush your fucking
Brush your teeth and brush your hair.
Yeah, just basic hygiene, guys. Like, you know, like, see if you just meet...
Get a fresh new cut.
Yeah.
Probably grow a beard. You'll be instantly more attractive.
Yeah, because like,
not a neck beard though.
Yeah, don't get a neck beard.
Go and get it actually like sorted out at a barber, like your beard.
Yeah,
go and get it actually like sorted out and trimmed at a barber.
Yeah, if you're gonna have a beard, don't get like a Count Dankula beard.
No. Get
like an actual one, and like, look, it might take you a while to grow it.
James's one's finally growing in.
See, the problem is, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but you like it.
I love it. It's
so
like made you like 20% more attractive to me.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
You were already attractive to me, but it's made you like. I just love a beard on you. I've always said.
I prefer being clean shaven.
No, please. See if you go back to clean shaven now, I'll be devastated.
Alright, okay.
Devastated.
So I'm gonna have to live like this
forever.
Right, okay, fair enough. Can I not go for... I would really like a mustache.
Mustaches are in.
Could I get a mustache?
No, you'd look like a pedo uncle.
Oh, for fuck's sake, man.
It's your face shape, James, and your hairline.
Your
face shape and your hairline.
You've got the archetypical pedo head shape. Thanks, Megan. Thanks. Right, what other shit? I think honestly, just going out there, talking to people IRL, practice as much as you fucking can. And the other thing is, don't fucking just give up.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the other biggest fucking issues, is people just give up.
They give up far too easily.
You know, like, this is something that I think I've spoken about a few times. And, like, you know, you look at people like, for instance, Andrew Tate or Jordan Peterson, all those types of ones. And, like, you know, like, say what you will about these people, but they're the only ones that I see out of, like, the political talking head. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't fucking like them very much.
Yeah.
But out of like, if they're gonna go out there and try and talk politics, they're also trying to improve people's lives. Like, you know, they are trying, like, a lot of self-help sort of shit as well.
Why are you looking at me again?
Because you're just looking at me.
I
like
just
that.
really don't fucking like Andrew Tate.
No, neither do I. But I mean, the problem is, so that's when we've talked about him earlier. He joined his Hustler Academy thing.
I just really...
So, like, look, unironically, we've made money through Andrew Tate.
I know, but fuck Andrew Tate.
But you get what I'm trying to go for. What else can we bring up? Because I want to do this video just once. Anytime a hypergamy comes up, we can just, like, be like, watch this video, and that's it.
I don't know. I'd love to do, like a relationship advice.
Do you think so? See, I think because we're like different than most people, though.
Yeah, but I would love to give, like, our takes on it.
Alright, okay. Well, maybe I can work.
I would love to do a relationship advice column, like, if you have any, like, questions, like, oh, I was talking to a girl, don't really know how do you approach it, stuff like that, like, let me talk to you.
Well, that could match in quite nicely on Gumroad with the bonus videos for the 7-Eleven, because this is going on YouTube, this video, so it is. By the way, if you haven't checked out Gumroad, check it out. We've been doing actually a lot of bonus videos. Yeah. So we have.
And we're going to be doing another
because
James fucked up the audio.
Well, look, you guys will find out. If you're interested in it, $7.50 a month, you get access to everything, and there's like 20 videos there now. Yeah. So, like, there's like 30 hours, if not more, of video. So for $7.50, 30 hours of video, even if you only get it once, and then just cancel it after you, like,
and then come back, like, later on and get more
in, like, a few months down the road.
You know what I mean? Like, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I like it.
And, like, the topics that we're doing,
they're stuff that we could never talk about on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's what I enjoy. And I like the way we don't have to, like, hold our tongue. We don't have to be
if you get easily offended, don't join.
Yeah, just don't.
Because I will bully you.
Yeah. The Discord's a lot of fun. We recently got a Discord for it, so we can actually talk to people and get more submissions and more feedback, because there's no, like, comment section on it, so that was a big issue.
Yeah. And I hated putting videos out and not knowing if people like them or not.
It was very hard to gauge.
Or, like, the Discord, like, they'll tell us. That's good. It just makes it easier.
Yeah, it does. Is there anything else? Any last words for someone who's given up? What would you say to someone? Give up. What would you say to someone that's given up? Someone who's had maybe a couple bad relationships, or maybe not at all.
Don't give up. It gets to a point where you think, like, literally, for this, I cannot be bothered anymore, but don't give up. And, sometimes if you're not looking as hard, it might just fall into your lap. Yeah. I mean, the way I would say it is, and take that chance. Always take the chance, because like, James is a prime example for taking that chance for me. Yeah, I mean, like, you just got to try. James just one day, he was bored of being single, bored of having that single life, and he was like, I went to school with Megan, she was really nice to me, and she was pretty, and, like, I really liked her, and then I'll just send her a message. Yeah, why not? Send me a message to see how I was getting on. That was it. Yeah, it worked out pretty nicely, So, like, just take the chance. I would say, now, the only thing I would say is, I would rather not be with someone than be in a bad relationship. Yeah. But I think a good relationship will improve the quality of your life. Yeah. Across the board. That's what I would say about it. But if you're in a bad relationship, get the fuck out. Yeah. Like, unironically. Yeah, don't waste your time, because I spent 4 years in a horrible relationship. I laugh at you sometimes, like, Megan, seriously? I know he does. Seriously? How the fuck did you spend 4 years with that man? Like, I don't know. Fucking, that's unironically, and teenage years, that's like 8 years, adult years. I know. Does that make sense? I get it, James. And, like, it was the worst. Actually, appalled him. You just didn't even like each other. No. For years. No. I like the relationship ended after like a year and a half.
So then he's just like stayed together.
Yeah.
And you know the funniest thing is he still like messages like begging. Nobody like messages on like the weirdest shit. Like he tried to message him like PSN.
PSN.
Like years like I'm not even joking. Like 5 years after.
How have you got my key? I've got a new PlayStation. How did you get it?
Oh, the funniest one ever was
he emailed me and everything.
We weren't going out all that long. We were going out maybe 6-7 months, and he messaged you, and you were like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!"
Oh man, it's so funny.
You just looked at it and like, fuck it, because it was like he's messaging me again.
Yeah, and James was like, I was like, should I fuck with him? And we were like,
yeah, come on, we were sitting having a drink.
So I pretended to be flirty with him, so I was flirting with him. I was like, oh, I'm just in the bath, and I sent him like a picture of my feet in the bath. And he was like, oh, send me a picture, and I was like, hold on, I'll get out of the bath. So I sent him. So I got one of my bras and put it around James's ass cheeks.
Yeah,
and I took a close up picture to where it actually looked like a pair of tits.
Yeah.
And I sent it to him.
So like the guy was like on my bum.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
I sent it to him. And I was like, do you like that? And he was like, yeah, I like that.
And then we zoomed it out.
No, wait. And I said, do you want more? And he goes, yeah, if you have the balls.
Oh, yes, that was it. Oh,
which was the best thing he could have said.
Oh, that was the funniest shit ever.
There's James bending over, butt ass naked, with my bra over his ass cheeks, with your balls hanging down. And he was turning around, pulling the thumbs up and sent it to you. And he blocked me.
Oh, that was the funniest shit ever.
Well, first of all, he sent laughing faces.
Oh, yeah.
And then he blocked me.
He was scuffing
it thick. He was definitely having a chuff to that.
Yeah, he was.
100%.
That was one of the funniest ones ever.
It was so funny. It was so good.
You did the same thing with another fellow though. Again, horrible fucking relationship. Like one of them relationships, like, why were we even together? What happened? How? And then I was like, do you want to go to the cinema?
Oh yeah, like ridiculously horrible relationship. It's like
one of those ones where it's like
you've like grew up and you're actually like really fit now. And he's like, do you want to meet up? And I was like,
yeah.
I was like, yeah, okay. And he's like, oh great. He says like, we'll meet up at the cinema. And I was like, yeah, what time? This time, no, and all this. So we met up. No, we didn't meet up.
No,
so
you just didn't.
He went there and it was like in the middle of December and it was snowing that year and it was fucking Baltic. And
did he have a car or anything?
No, he walked. And he lived the way up.
Yeah, he lived his way up the hill, so you know,
where Chris used to live.
Yeah, so he lived about 40. It was a good 45 minute to an hour walk.
And he walked all the way down. It was freezing, and he messaged me, "Where are you?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Where are you?" I'm outside the cinema, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not going to there." He's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "You're an absolute dick. Do you actually think that I would go and meet you after what you done to me? No way. Thanks. See you, bye." He's like, "You're an evil bitch," and I was like, "Don't care. You were an evil dick."
I know. What the fuck did you expect? See, that's the bit that gets me is they weren't good relationships. So why is it? Are you at the point where a relationship is so fucking bad?
I know
that it's like this is the best I've ever had. It's like what?
I just seem to pick out fucking psychos back then.
Yeah. I think you've improved at least a little.
No, I've picked out a schizo.
yeah. So moral of the story: go with schizos instead.
Not psychos.
about
an autistic schizo.
Autistic schizos that will tell you all about how demons are going in the world in the twinkle of. Yeah, go with that. Look, this video is more than long enough. I think this is going to be our video. We just point to anytime any of this sort of stuff comes up. Honestly, I'm very sympathetic to a lot of it, but on one hand, there's also a lot of guys that don't even fucking try.
Yeah.
ER tier guys, the supreme gentleman type.
Yeah.
And don't try and kid ourselves because there are supreme gentlemans.
And if you want to hear about a supreme gentleman.
Oh, yes, we'll do the supreme gentleman.
We might do that for this week's
Gumroad. Yeah, we'll do that. So, I would love to talk about maybe some other people with high scores. Well, what else? What other way can I put it on YouTube?
Just people who didn't like school.
Okay, right. Look, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Check the links down below, all that good stuff, and we'll see you next time.
Bye. Subscribe to Gum. You will watch our videos. You will enjoy them.